So on this video, I am going to give some tips to new artists and really just break down what I would be doing if I was a brand new artist. By brand new artist, I mean under 1,000 followers, just starting out, trying to get the needle moving. And in a lot of regards, I am a new artist. Hello, my name is Ruslan. I am an entrepreneur, a hip hop and spoken word artist. This channel exists to empower, encourage, inspire other artists as I'm documenting my journey and learning and growing my thing. And so if you're new here, consider subscribing. If I were a new artist, I think I would first start out with asking myself, do I realistically have the chops, the talent, and or the desire to actually make it as a full-time entrepreneur, creative musician, artist. It's a very challenging career path. Foundationally, you got to start with a level of self-awareness. Start with asking yourself, do you have the tools and the chops and the ability to take this thing to the next level? We have to stop being delusional with where we are with our abilities, guys. We have to start being realistic on where we are. Do you have the chops? Do you don't have the chops? What areas do you need to grow in? Some of us are naturally more talented. Some of us are naturally more driven. It doesn't matter. Just know how much work it's going to take for you to get to that next level. You have to have a level of self-awareness to know what is it about you that makes your story more unique and compelling. And then once you know what that is, you have to then create consistent and compelling content. Again, you have to create, you have to be creative, you have to know that you're good, you have to know the foundational things of your craft. If you're an artist, you have to know how to make music, so on and so forth, and then you have to know how to make it consistent. This is where it gets hard because sometimes creative and consistent are in conflict with each other, because if you want to be uber creative, it may be tough to be super consistent. So you have to find that balance. Maybe initially you're just really creative and you drop a song every 2 months or a song a month. Maybe you can do a song a week. I don't know what it is. Create consistent content, and it has to be compelling. Now, I just went through this in my own series where I'm dropping a song a week, a live one take, live video called The Weeklies, and I had done 13 of them, and some of them went really well, some of them didn't, but I just didn't really feel like I was getting the traction and the momentum I would have liked to see. So I switched it up on this last one I did. I called it Summer 17, and I did a weekly about current events. I had to tweak the formula a little bit to create something compelling. Even though I've been consistent and I've been creative, I was rapping, doing one take videos with the weeklies, but I had to switch it up and do something compelling, and I'm happy with the traction that I'm specifically getting with that video because I'm talking about current events like the Tupac All Eyes on Me movie, like the LeVar Ball $500 sneaker, like police brutality. All of these are different issues that society wants to talk about, and therefore people want to hear my perspective on, and so it gets better engagement and gets better views. So compelling content. So create consistent and compelling content. And then the content, you have to consider the content. You cannot just view yourself as a musician or as an artist. You have to view yourself as a content maker, as a media company. So creating consistent and compelling content. Now here's the deal. You have to figure out, are you gonna trade your money for time, or are you gonna trade your time so you don't have to spend money? Meaning, I've been privileged because I've been doing this for over a decade. I've been able to learn how to shoot my own videos. I edit all my own videos. I record my own music. I mix my own music. I can create consistent content, but there are some things I outsource. And so you have to figure out what can you outsource. And so honestly, I'm big on people not jumping out the window, being irresponsible with how they pursue their passions. So I would encourage most of you guys watching, get a job that's flexible and pays you well. So what that looks like is if you're under the age of 22, you're under the age of 25, you're an artist, you're creative, you don't have a family, you're not married yet, or maybe you are married, figure out a way to make money that gives you the flexibility to still do your art and your passion. One of the most practical ways that can look like is by working in the restaurant industry. If you're a server at a restaurant, you can make your hourly wages, which in California, it's $10 an hour, minimum wage, that's our minimum wage, and you can make tips. Sometimes you can make upwards of $100 to $200 in tips a night. So if you're thinking about it, you're working 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, you're bringing home $400 or $500 a week, and you still have other nights and other days to spend on your music. Take that money, be responsible with it, don't go into debt, don't go get a car note and do stupid stuff like finance your equipment. Take that money, invest it into your music. Maybe you spend the time learning how to do basic mixes. Maybe you outsource the mixes. Maybe you learn how to shoot videos yourself. Well, obviously you're gonna need somebody to shoot the videos for you, but maybe you learn how to edit video yourself. Maybe you outsource editing video and invest that money in creating the content. If the content is compelling and the content is good and you're good, which is a whole nother conversation, but if the content is compelling, content is good, then you have to be consistent. And I would be pouring my money into figuring out how to create this content and making consistent. Maybe find somebody that you could put on retainer. So making music, making visuals, vlogs, short films, music videos. And I would maybe leverage things like Fiverr for things like graphics and things like mixing and things like production. One of the things I would not be spending money on right now if I am an artist, I would not be spending money on buying exclusive beats. I would not be spending money on paying for expensive and fancy studio time. I would be recording myself and I would probably be leasing my beats. If you don't know what leasing beats is, you need to go Google that. Basically, if you're paying for a beat, you could pay anywhere from $200 to $600 for an original exclusive beat, meaning you own the rights, or you could spend between $20 and $50 and license the music so that you can rap over it and use it up to a certain number of streams or sales without having to repay the producer. And then you just renegotiate those terms. A lot of the biggest songs coming out now, people are leasing the beats and then turning around and, you know, renegotiating them if the song blows up. So I know it's sexy to own all your music and buy all your exclusive beats, but I wouldn't be spending money on beats. I wouldn't be spending money on expensive studio time. I wouldn't be financing my equipment. I would probably invest in a really simple studio. I'd made a video on 2 things every indie artist needs to make. I'll link that up somewhere. Check that out. And so I would be leveraging things like Fiverr. I would be earning money, make money, that's important. And I would be creating consistent and compelling content. And then once you have it, leverage social media, leverage your personal friendships, and ask people to share the content for you. Everybody starts out with 50, 100, 150 real friends on their social media. Start dropping content, asking people to share it with you. If your friends share it, it's probably good. If they don't share it, it's probably not good. If it's good enough, it'll start spreading organically. And then the other place I would put additional funds is I would put money into Facebook ads and YouTube ads. Now, Facebook ads are awesome. You can get really niche down in terms of the type of audience you want to reach. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube, you could even pick the channels you want to put your video in front of. It's super dope. So that's where I would be putting my money, guys. And in order to execute that well, you have to have, again, a level of self-awareness, and you have to know what makes you compelling to know how and where to reach your demographic and your audience. The style of music you make, you have to know similar artists. And so that's what I would be doing. One of the things I probably also wouldn't be doing is I wouldn't just be coming out of the blue and dropping a mixtape. I'd probably start with dropping a single, working that single really well, and then turning around dropping a music video for that single, working that single really well, and then when there's demand, dropping a mixtape. So I can go on and on and on about all these different things, but hopefully that helps you just in kind of reviewing, create consistent, compelling content. Don't go into debt making your art. Do get a job and save money so that you can pay for some of this stuff, and know that at the end of the day, you're either paying money to save time or you're saving time and paying money. You have to decide what's right for you. I like to learn. I'm multifaceted that way. I like to do a lot of things, but I'm also learning when and how to save money for time and leverage Fiverr. You can get everything from mixing on there and all these different things. And if you need some referrals, if you need producers, engineers, you can also reach out to me. It might be a bit more expensive going through me than going through Fiverr, but at least you know you're dealing with a tangible, real person you can hop on the phone with. Oh, and the very last thing I almost forgot, look for opportunities to collaborate with other artists that you're similar tier, or artists that are maybe further along than you that you can pay a little bit of money, $500, something like that, to do a feature for you and make sure they're bought into the song and they like the song and you guys have a similar demographic and that they can cross promote, and new people will check for you because you're affiliated with a specific artist. So features also very valuable. Anyway, so if you like this video, man, hit me with a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know, what do you think about this whole idea of being a new artist? Where are you at in your artistry? And is there anything else you want me to go deeper on? Share this video. I know that some of you like these videos. Don't hoard them for yourselves, guys. Hit the share button, share it with some friends, text it to some friends. I'm getting ready to announce a new mixtape. If you are not on my super phone, you should be. You can look in the description below and hit me on a super phone so that we can stay connected. I'm gonna make that announcement very soon. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Peace.